In today's tutorial, we'll be creating an advanced online university app with Web App Generator. Let's start by naming our application Online University, choosing a mobile theme, and then clicking Create Application. We'll then create our first form titled Class, and rename the class column to Professor, as well as changing the width to 30%. After, let's change the section name to Professor as well, and then add a document management section to the very top titled Photo. Next, we'll add two text fields titled Professor Name and Professor Email with the following default values that will autofill the correct information. We'll then add a text field titled Professor ID with visibility set to false, and then a calculated formula followed by a memo field titled About Instructor. Let's then drag a new column, title it Class Information, and give it a 30% column width. In the new column, we'll add a rich text enhanced section titled Class Syllabus, followed by a button titled Create Class. Below that, let's add a standard section titled Class Details, followed by two text fields inside titled Class and Session Dates. On the session's date text field, we'll add the following custom input mask so that users are required to follow that date format. Next, we'll add a memo field titled About the Class and a text field titled Required Books. Let's now close out and add the rest of our forms. The first will be titled Assignment, and inside we'll add a text field titled Class. The next will be titled Announcement, and inside we'll add a text field titled Class again. Our third new form will be titled Discussion Board, with a date field that has edit set to false and the following default value. Fourth new form will be titled Homework, where we'll change the section name to Student, add a date field with edit set to false and the following default value. Finally, we'll add our last form titled Student with the text field inside titled Student Name, edit set to false, and the following default value. We'll now go back to our class form and add a new column titled More with a 30% column width. In this new column, we'll add a few Datagrid-Subforms sections titled Assignment, My Students, Submitted Homework, and Discussion Board. In each of those subforms, we'll choose the corresponding form and the only field checked. We'll then add another subform titled Announcements below the Create Class button with the corresponding form and the only field checked. Let's close out again and then go to our assignment form, where we'll begin by adding a calculated formula to the class field. After that, let's add two date fields titled Post Date and Due Date. On the Post Date field, we'll make edit false and the following default value. Next, we'll add a text field titled Assignment, followed by another text field titled Professor Email with visibility set to false and the following default value. Let's then click on the assignment column and set the following edit control. Afterwards, we'll drag in a document management section and title it Assignment: In this section, we'll add a text field titled Assignment Uploaded with visibility set to false, followed by a button titled Upload Assignment. Then we'll add the following on-click events to the Upload Assignment button. We'll then click Show Advanced Options at the top to set the Edit Save buttons to false and the New Delete buttons to the following formula. Let's then close out and go to the announcement form, where we'll start by adding a calculated formula to the class field. Next, we'll add a text field titled Posted By with edit set to false and the following default value. Below that, we'll add a text field named Title and another text field titled Posted On with edit set to false and the following default value. Then we'll add a memo field titled Announcement, followed by a button field titled Post Announcement with the following visibility and edit formulas. For the button, we'll add a Save Record event. Below the button, let's add a Datagrid-Subforms section titled Class with visibility set to false, class as the form, and class checked. We'll then click Show Advanced Options at the top to set visibility to false on the Edit, Delete, Save, and New buttons. Let's then close out and go to the discussion board forum, where we'll start by adding a text field titled Topic, followed by another text field titled Class that has the following calculated formula. Next, let's add another text field titled Professor Name with edit set to false and the following default value. Below that, we'll add a discussion section titled Discussion, followed by a Datagrid-Subforms section titled Class with visibility set to false, class as the form, and class checked. We'll then click Show Advanced Options at the top to set the visibility to false for the Edit, Delete, and New buttons. Let's now close out and go to the homework form, where we'll begin by adding a text field titled Student Name with edit set to false and the following default value. Below that, we'll add a document management section titled Homework, and inside a button titled Submit Homework with Edit, Read, View mode checked, and the following visibility formula. Next, let's add a standard section titled Hidden Section with visibility set to false, and inside we'll add a text field titled Homework Submitted, followed by another text field titled Student ID with the following calculated formula. Then we'll add a Unite Names field titled Professors and add in a professor. We'll then do the same for students. After, let's add a text field titled Class with the following calculated formula. Then we'll click on the Submit Homework button and add the following button events. Above the button, let's add a combo box titled Homework Name with assignment as the form and the following checked. We'll then click Show Advanced Options at the top and set the Edit, Delete, Save, New buttons visibility to false. Let's then close out and go to our student form, where we'll begin by changing the column width to 50%. We'll then drag in a new column titled Hidden with visibility set to false and a 50% width. Inside the new column, we'll add a standard section titled Hidden Section, followed by a text field titled Professor Email with the following default value. After, we'll add two text fields titled Student ID and Student Email with edit set to false and the following default values. Then another text field, this one titled Enrolled, followed by a Unite Names field titled Professors with a professor added by clicking Add Specific Names. Next, let's add a Datagrid-Subforms section titled Class with class as the form and class checked. After, let's drag in a yes/no field to the student section and title it Statement of Accomplishment with the following visibility formula. Below that, we'll add a text field titled Credit with edit set to false and the following default value. Let's then click on the Statement of Accomplishment field to add the following event. Next, let's add a text field titled Class with edit set to false and the following default value. Below that, we'll add a button titled Enroll with the following visibility control, and then add the following button events. After, we'll add the following visibility controls to the Edit, Delete, Save, and New buttons. Let's now close out and go to the class form where we'll finish this app up. Let's drag in a standard section in the More column and title it Hidden Section with visibility set to false. In that section, we'll add 3 text fields titled Class Created, Count Students, and Student Added. Next, we'll click on the Create Class button and add the following visibility control, followed by some button events. After, let's click on the Announcements section and add the following edit formula, as well as checking Title and Posted On with the 2-1 display order. We'll then click on our Assignment section, add the following edit formula, check Criteria Based, and the following fields with some filters. Next, we'll click on the My Students section, add the following visibility formula, check Criteria Based, and the following fields with some filters. After, let's drag in a new Datagrid-Subforms section below My Students and title it Students, with Student as the form, Criteria Based checked, a visibility formula, an edit formula, and the following fields and filters added. We'll then click on the Submitted Homework section, set Edit to False, add a visibility formula, check Criteria Based, and add the following fields and filters. Next, we'll drag in another new Datagrid-Subforms section and title it Submit Homework, with homework as the form, Criteria Based checked, a visibility formula, and the following fields and filters added. Let's then add a text field in the Professor section titled My Class with the following calculated formula and visibility set to false. After, we'll click on the Discussion Board section and check Date Topic with the 2-1 display order, followed by clicking on the Count Students text field and adding the following calculated formula. We'll then click Show Advanced Options at the top to add the following visibility formula to the Edit, Delete, and New buttons. Let's now close out, click Views, add a new view, and title it Class, with Class as the form and the following checked. After saving, we'll click Back, Mobile View Designer, and change our layout until we get the desired look. Finally, let's go to our class form, click on the Create Class button, and add an on-click Go to View button event. The options are limitless with Web App Generator, and app creation has never been so easy and fast with drag and drop. Be sure to watch our user mode video of this app to see it in action, and visit webappgenerator.com today to start creating your apps.